Renowned daredevil Felix Baumgartner, the Austrian skydiving legend whose breathtaking stunts defied gravity and captivated the imagination of millions around the world, has tragically died in a paragliding accident in Italy, according to local media reports. The 56-year-old thrill-seeker was widely regarded as one of the most fearless men on Earth, having built an extraordinary legacy through death-defying leaps from unimaginable heights, daring aerial feats, and a boldness that few have dared to replicate. He was best known for the iconic 2012 Red Bull Stratos mission, where he ascended to the very edge of space in a helium balloon and jumped from 24 miles above Earth, a moment that shattered multiple world records and pushed the boundaries of human endurance. Baumgartner's final moments were as sudden and shocking as the risks he had spent a lifetime mastering. Reports from the coastal town of Porto Sant'Epedio in eastern Italy state that he was piloting a motorized paraglider when he experienced some form of medical emergency mid-flight. Witnesses described a terrifying descent, ending when his glider veered off course and crashed directly into the swimming pool of a local hotel. The impact was reportedly so severe that he died instantly, his life coming to an abrupt end in a tragic twist of fate. In a chilling turn, Baumgartner had posted an Instagram story just 2 hours prior to the accident. The post showed a snapshot of the sky, accompanied by the ominous caption, "Too much wind," for those who knew him or followed his incredible journey through the years. The message now reads like an eerie premonition, adding to the horror of the moment. It was reported that a hotel employee, an innocent bystander, was also injured. During the crash, the employee was struck by the motorized glider and suffered serious neck injuries. He was rushed to a nearby hospital, where medical professionals confirmed he was in stable condition but would require continued observation and care. The shock of the crash rippled through the quiet coastal town, where stunned onlookers gathered near the cordoned-off pool, some in tears, others staring silently at the wreckage as emergency services carried out their grim task. For those who knew Felix Baumgartner, either personally or through his legacy, the news was devastating. Baumgartner was not just a stuntman. He was an artist of risk, an engineer of adrenaline, and a pioneer of the skies. Born on April 20th, 1969 in Salzburg, Austria, he grew up with a fascination for flying. As a young boy, he was already leaping from high places, building parachutes out of bed sheets, and dreaming about breaking free from the Earth's limitations. This innate desire to fly wasn't just about adrenaline. It was about challenging the limits of possibility, a principle that would later define his entire career. His professional life as an extreme athlete began in earnest in the 1990s, where he first made his name in the world of base jumping, an acronym that stands for building, antenna, span, and earth, the 4 types of fixed structures one can jump from. But Baumgartner wasn't content with merely jumping off objects. He craved innovation, spectacle, and the kind of precision that turned each stunt into a scientific and emotional performance. He honed his skills with Red Bull's backing, building a reputation for being both meticulous and daring, qualities that rarely coexist in the world of extreme sports. One of his early defining moments came in 1999 when he set the world record for the highest parachute jump from a building. The leap was from the Petronas Towers in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, then the tallest buildings in the world. From 1,483 feet above ground, Baumgartner stood at the edge, took a breath, and leaped into the Malaysian skyline, his descent captured by awestruck bystanders below. That same year, he also etched his name into the record books for executing the lowest base jump ever recorded. From the 85-foot arm of the Christ, the Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro. It was a delicate operation, performed at dawn and without official clearance. For hours, he waited for the wind to die down before finally taking the plunge. Plunging into Brazilian airspace with nothing but a flicker of wind resistance and pure instinct guiding his descent. But Baumgartner wasn't finished redefining what was possible. In 2003, he took on a challenge that merged both distance and innovation. He became the first person to skydive across the English Channel. The stunt required not just courage, but also cutting-edge technology. Strapped to his back was a custom design, carbon fiber wing crafted specifically to allow him to glide long distances. Baumgartner jumped from an aircraft more than 6 miles above Dover, England, soaring through the air in a horizontal flight pattern. As he crossed the English Channel, he maintained composure and control, finally landing safely on the white cliffs of Cap Longnes in France. The feat stunned engineers and aviation experts, proving that humans could glide across continents. With the right design and indomitable will, then came the 2012 Red Bull Stratos jumped the stunt that would make him a global icon. Years in the making, the mission was part science experiment, part daredevil feat. Baumgartner, dressed in a specially designed pressurized suit, entered a capsule attached to a helium balloon and slowly ascended to 128,100 feet, nearly 24 miles above the Earth's surface. From the stratosphere, where the curvature of the Earth was visible and the atmosphere turned from blue to black. He stood on a small platform, saluted, and jumped into history. As he plummeted through thin air, he reached a speed of Mach 1.25, about 843.6 miles per hour, becoming the first human being to break the sound barrier in freefall, without any form of vehicle. The descent lasted for minutes and 19 seconds, before he deployed his parachute and touched down safely in the New Mexico desert. The entire event was broadcast live, with over 8 million people watching it unfold on YouTube and countless more through broadcast media. Baumgartner's heartbeat was monitored, his altitude tracked, and his every movement recorded through a camera mounted on his helmet. The resulting footage formed the basis for a stunning documentary produced by Red Bull, which brought his story and the science behind it to an even broader audience. The jump wasn't just an awe-inspiring spectacle. It contributed to valuable data for aerospace engineering and high-altitude parachuting, even influencing NASA's protocols for emergency bailouts. Even after that incredible leap, Baumgartner did not retire from the public eye. Though his stunts became less frequent, he continued to stay active in motorsports, aviation, and public speaking. He spoke at numerous conferences, universities, and even at TEDx events, emphasizing the importance of preparation, fear management, and living boldly. He was often asked about what drove him to risk his life again and again. His answer, though, varied in language, was always rooted in a common belief that humans were made to push boundaries, to experience life not in safety, but in fullness. "If your dreams don't scare you," he once said, "they're not big enough." As news of his tragic passing spread, tributes began pouring in from fans, fellow daredevils, aviation experts, and global leaders alike. Social media platforms were flooded with heartfelt posts, photos, and memories from those who had followed his career. Shocked by the news, RIP, one fan wrote on X, formerly Twitter. "We will all miss you, Felix," commented another. Others shared clips of his iconic jumps, quotes from his speeches, and their own personal stories about how his courage had inspired them to face fears in their own lives. Red Bull released a solemn statement acknowledging the enormous loss. They praised Baumgartner not only as an athlete, but as a visionary, someone who expanded the public's understanding of what was physically and mentally possible. "Felix was more than just our ambassador. He was our brother in risk, in innovation, in breaking free from the ordinary," their statement read. "He taught us that fear is not an enemy, but a compass." Meanwhile, experts from the world of aviation and aerospace paid homage to Baumgartner's contribution to high-altitude physiology and pressure suit testing. Several scientists and engineers who worked alongside him during the Red Bull Stratos mission shared personal anecdotes about his discipline and his deep understanding of the risks involved. He wasn't just a thrill seeker. One physicist, Noted, he was a pioneer who gave us invaluable insights that will be used for decades to come.